Hi everybody, it's me again, Charles Norm from Sports Solutions LLC. We are the creators of AthleticSOS, which if you're trying to get an athletic scholarship will allow you to find all the colleges that you academically qualified to attend that have your sport and offer athletic scholarships at any of the levels. So NCAA Division 1, 2, and 3. Okay, Division 3 does not offer athletic scholarships, but you guys get what I mean. They can give you money to come and play for them as an athlete. And then the NAIA schools and even junior colleges across the U.S. that offer scholarships, books, tuition, things like that. Okay, so in this one, I am being very careful with how I write things now. If you look at the title of this is going to talk about your unsigned seniors, especially for the events. Right now it's April of 2023. That's when I'm doing this video, and this happens every year, and so that's what we're used to. We've been around for a little while now, and so we've seen the cycle over and over and over again that you guys go to these events. And so I titled this one BEaWARE, but I put the A in there, so BEaWARE for our group. What we're trying to do here at AthleticSOS is the technology is fantastic. Anybody that uses it, and again, you guys look down below, I give you a code, I give you instructions on how to use the code, and you can use the software at absolutely no cost. What are we trying to accomplish here? We're trying to get you guys to think past what everyone else is doing. Anyone using our software, we want to say you have an advantage over all of your peers that are trying to get athletic scholarships because you used our software. And what we're trying to do is say, don't wait to be discovered. You want to be reaching out to these schools, let them know you're going to be there, let them know you're interested in their school, and let them know you're qualified to attend their school, and then let them come out and see you. They will do it, okay? So just follow the instructions that we have inside the software. And it's a different mind shift, but we're not just doing it so you can get an athletic scholarship. Yes, that's the goal for you guys right now, and I get that. That's fine. What we're trying to do is get you to do this for the rest of your life. We want to change the dynamic for you guys as you move forward in life, and so that you understand, hey, if I want this, I need to do a little bit of head work at the beginning and work my way through things so that when I sit in that chair, whether I'm trying to get a job, where I'm trying to become an entrepreneur, where I want to start my own business, whatever you want to do in life, that you gave yourself an advantage over everyone else that wants to do the same thing. You're not the only one that wants to do whatever you want to do moving forward for the most part. And so in this one, I put that BEaWARE and BEaWARE. Now I've done 3 talks. I don't know, some point in this thing, I've become this speaker person. People want me to come in. I've done softball, football, and basketball in the last week. And the same thing comes up now for these kids that are seniors. They're going to these unsigned senior events or showcases, and there's disappointment every single time. There's kids that go to these events and they blame the event, but the event person had to put it on. It's not to blame them, but they'll get these offers at these events, and then a week later, sometime during that week, they've been asked to send up their transcripts because they're not in position to be really offered a athletic scholarship. But that coach doesn't know that at the moment. They're assuming that you're in position to be able to that they can offer you this scholarship, and so they start asking for your transcripts and your grade, and then they find out all of the problems. And this is where everything starts. We keep telling you guys over and over again, what do you need to do? You need to make sure you took the right courses. And for those of you, and I told you guys, I'm doing this in 2023 in April. Once we get through this year, the rules are going to be reset for the NCAA. Right now, everything is open. They're still on that pandemic level thing, so you don't have to have your SAT, ACTs anymore. They're not as concerned about your, if you missed a course or 2, you can make it up. They've got all kind of special rules going on right now. So you still are in good shape. You should be able to be offered if this is lined up correctly. But even these kids could not make it once they were offered something by going to one of these unsigned senior events, because they were still way out of whack with what is required for the school to be offered to get into the school. And this is where I always kind of keep you guys on this separation. Yes, the NCAA and the NAIA have their own rules, but the school doesn't have to let you in just because you meet the NCAA rules. They should be equal. If you've done everything you're supposed to do for the NCAA, you should be okay for the college, but it's not always. They don't have to do anything. Okay, and you guys need to understand that they don't have to allow you into their school. And so these are the kind of things that we want to be ahead of that. We don't want to be like everybody else looking for the loophole from 2020 to 2023. Yes, there are a bunch of loopholes, and maybe you can squeeze underneath one. But if you start doing that in life, if you start looking at things that way, you're going to get stuck there. So what can you do moving forward in the next few months between now and the time you get out of school? There's going to be a ton more of these unsigned senior events. So the question was always, should I even go? Because they wanted to complain to the event holders. Yes, you should go to as many of these as you can, but we want to do it a little bit different. So sometimes when they're doing the events, they'll tell you the schools that are going to be there, where the coaches are coming from, or at least the area they're coming from. You can take that list or just ask for the list. Do you know which coaches are coming? Do you know some of the coaches that are coming? You're going to take that list, run it through our AthleticSOS software, and see if you academically qualify to attend that school. And if you do, reach out to that coach and send them your information and let them know you're interested in them. You're going to be at the event they're going to be at. And imagine now, let's switch this around. Imagine you're the coach. And you're going here and you're doing this event because maybe you support this organization or something like that. And so you're going to this event and maybe you'll find somebody. You've done this for a few years. Sometimes you find some kids, sometimes you don't, but you just want to be around. It's a great atmosphere. You get to see some of the other coaches from your conferences or from your area for whatever you're involved in. And it's just a cool outing for you, right? Maybe you'll find somebody, maybe you won't. But now you've got this kid that has written to you. You know they're academically qualified. You know they want to come play for you. You've taken a little bit of look. They sent you a little bit more information, and we tell you about that in AthleticSOS, what you can do. And if you don't have AthleticSOS, what you can do is go to their website. They have an online interest form. You can fill that out. And so they know a little bit about your background, and now they're going to come. They're going to make sure to pay a little bit of special attention to you, okay? And that is your advantage over everyone else there hoping to be discovered. You're just hoping to verify. You just want to be able to verify to that coach, yeah, I can play at this level, and you should look at me, and I want to come play for you. You should want me because I'm set, I'm ready to go. That is the difference. Do you guys understand that? Does that make a lot of sense? Now, let's say you kind of get stuck. You're a senior. What are your other options here? Well, the other options are you can look into JCs, and we do have junior colleges. Now, except for California, most of the other states, the junior colleges or the community colleges can offer you room, board, books, housing, all those kind of things for you to come and play for them. That is a great option for you. Now, we've had kids through the year that asked me, okay, I was thinking about going to a trade school, but I could go to a JC. What do you recommend? I always recommend you go to the junior college, take the courses you need, and then maybe take some business courses. And then if you're going to go to a trade school, you go to the trade school after that, and then you can kind of tie those things together, because what I want you guys to do is go to that trade school, get some time in, maybe a few years that you're going to have to go through as a journeyman and get yourself up to speed. I don't care if it's auto mechanics or plumbing or any of those things, whatever you're going to do, electrician, you want to go do those things. But imagine you come out now and you want to start your own business, but you started going to school and you know a little bit about business, how to get it set up, the difference between a S Corp or a C Corp or LLC and all that kind of stuff. You've kind of picked up on some of that lingo, and now you can start looking. It's not as scary to you to go out on your own. It's still a challenge, but it's not as scary for you as somebody that just went straight to trade school. That is my opinion. You do it the way you want. You can go the other way and go to trade school and then go back to school, but that's a little bit harder to me. And here's the other thing, and here's the thing I think people need to understand about college. You go to college to make your connections, to build a network of people that are taking the time to do the same thing you did, because a lot of you guys don't do well in school. You don't want to do any more schooling. I get it. It's a headache for you. But if you go to JC, most of the kids on the campus are, well, I won't say most, but a lot of the kids on the campus, because I went to a JC, a lot of the kids on the campus are there because they want to stay home with their parents. And their parents are like, you're either going to get a job or you're going to keep going to school, but you got to come up with something. You can't just sit here and lay around here, right? You're out of high school, because the minute you leave that gate after graduation, nobody cares anymore. Right? So you got to go and you got to start making some move. So they're sitting on this campus, they're taking a class here, a class there. They'll be at a JC that should be 2 years to get out, and they're there for 3, 4, 5 years. You guys know what I'm talking about because you've seen it before. You don't want to be that kid. You want to get in there and you've got a plan. You got to get these, and it's a great option for you if it's going to cost you money. One of the other things I tell you guys over and over again, this is a pet peeve of mine, don't get yourself in this heavy debt. If you don't have the money to go to college and you don't get a full ride scholarship, you got to be really, really careful, especially for you guys that are in equivalency sports, which are 90% of the sports. 90% of you guys are going to equivalency sports, which means you're only going to get a partial scholarship for your athletics. Now, if you had really good grades, sometimes they can make up the difference in your academics, but that's not always the norm, right? So If a school costs you $30, $40, $50,000 to go to the college annually, and you're only getting $10, $15,000 as part of your scholarship package, then you got to make up that gap. This again can set you back, and it prevents you from making some moves that you could have made if you would have thought the other way around and said, okay, let me go ahead and do these 2 years at a JC, or I have to get some work, I need to build up some money, something. Don't come out with debt. You cannot get rid of your student loan debt. It's not going to happen. The government is broke right now. They want their money back. They're not going to let you out of anything. So don't believe the hype when everyone tells you, oh yeah, you can go in. Eventually they're going to let you, you can work it off. Now I do know some people that go into certain types of jobs, teaching, law enforcement, some kind of community-based thing, and they can get some of it off, but even they don't get it all off, or they pigeonhole themselves into something that or lose some options and opportunities because they're stuck over here trying not to pay their student loan debt, so they can't make this move, this opportunity over here. That makes no sense. Do not handcuff yourself to something just because you were thinking at 17, 18, 19 years old, hey, I'm going to beat the system. You're not going to beat the system. The system was designed for you not to beat it. And if you do beat it, you're going to have to take something back. You got to give up something to win. So did you really win? I don't know, but that's up to you guys. So I don't want you to get into that world. So a JC is a great option in this opportunity. But if it's a smaller gap, maybe it's a $5,000 gap, maybe even $10,000 a year, I think that's worth going to college for if you're going to do that. And you come out, you got $40,000 in debt. I think you can handle that. That still to me seems like a lot. And I'm an old head, so you guys can think about that, but that's a lot of money you have to pay back. And there's interest on top of that. Don't think this is free money. And you got to start paying it back so early that it kind of takes away for some of your options and opportunities. The other thing, though, that's really important in this, and we talk about this for high school right now, you guys got to start networking with good people, with people that are on a path to do something. When you go to your college, whatever college you decide to go to, start to hang around with people that are in fields that may interest you, and find out what they're all about, what's going on for the future. Maybe you guys can tie back together later on. You could talk about some of the ideas and thoughts that you have. Maybe you guys can start some things in college and just play around with stuff and see if anything sticks, because you're there anyway. So you might as well try to figure out if that's going to work out for you. And those are the kind of things I want you guys to start doing. And you're going to get this network of people that are just good people, and they want to do something different. Everybody knows you got to have money. You got to live. You got to pay your rent, your house note if you want to try to buy a house. You got to pay for cars. You got to pay for food. You're going to have to do some of the things that society requires of you just to be in this society, right? You got to do some things. I get that, but we want to do more. And so what we're trying to do with you guys right now is say, hey, I know I have to go and follow some of the rules, but I'm also going to start looking around these corners. I'm going to start doing some things that are a little bit different. And this is all I want for you guys, because your world, and I say this probably weekly now, is not going to be the same as my world. When I came through, there were set rules, and you're in pretty good shape if you follow the rules. I did not follow all of the rules, but I got myself there because the system was set up to make everyone workers. Right? They wanted us to come in, they want us to come into an office, they want us to sit down, and if you had any kind of anything about yourself, you could probably get yourself in pretty good shape. You guys don't have that anymore. We don't know what the rules are right now. And the final piece of this is for everybody else that is not a senior right now, I'm going to stay on top of it. They haven't released anything yet. As soon as they do, I'm going to find out what the new NCAA rules are moving forward. But I'm going to tell you, they're going to be very stringent coming forward. They really are trying to lock down. This NIL and the transfer portal have changed everything for, especially for the NCAA. And so things are so fluid, we don't know. And anyone that tells you that they know exactly what's going on, they are wrong. But you guys that are seniors right now, you're okay. For everybody else, stick with us. Go ahead and use the software, guys. Listen to me. It doesn't make sense for you not to use our software. And I know some of you guys are hesitant. You do have to register for the software. The reason we make you register and put your information in is because we want you to use our software to send out to the colleges. They're going to need that information. And so we ask for the information. I may rewrite the software slightly so that you don't have to put so much information in, but it's really the parents' information. We don't need that much information about the kid. We just need their, you can put their name in any way you want if you don't want to put their last name in. You can mess around with that if you want to. But we do need to have some of their academic information because you need to send that to the schools. We need to know what's going on. And then get you guys, make sure you get into the NCAA and the NAIA eligibility centers. Go ahead and set up that up today. the minute you watch this video, go ahead and set yourself up for that. We do have a link to it inside of our software. That's fine. But final thing, the reason I did this video is for you unsigned seniors. You guys are still looking out. Yes, go to whatever events are in your area or that you can get to. Give yourself a chance. But I want you to start looking out. Whatever that event is, they kind of tell you which coaches and where they're coming from. If they don't, give them a call. Find out where these coaches are coming from, and you reach out to those coaches before you go to that event, and then you start letting them know that you're interested in them. If you cannot find that out before the event, go do the event anyway, and then reach out to get a list of all the college coaches that are there, and then go back out again when you get home that evening and reach back out to those coaches and say, hey, coach, you know, I know you were at this event. I was there, I was whatever number you were, and give some of your information and say, hey, I'm really interested. I do know academically I qualify to attend your school, and I am interested in your school. I saw you guys' schedule. I've taken a look at some of your games. I've been interested in you guys for a while. What can I do to kind of move this forward? You do it as the high school athlete. Don't let your parents do it. You do it, or let your coach reach out for you, because you could say, hey, coach, I went to this event. These schools are there. I know I academically qualify. I think I can play at this level. What do you think? And let your high school or your travel club coach reach out on your behalf. That can work too. But don't let your parents do it. Whatever you do, parents, stay out of it. Let your kid do it or let their coach do it. And you guys should be okay. All right, you guys, as always, best of luck to you. We're going to stay on this. I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit more about the pillars thing that we're working on. That's the vision, cognitive, metacognitive, and the oxygen. And we're going to talk about that in a little while. We're going to be doing an event in November. I have another video out that I put out last week to kind of give you an idea of what we're thinking there, and we're going to move forward on that. I've got a great group of guys that have been around for decades doing this stuff, way past my grade level, but they're really, really good guys, and they're going to be at this event, and I want you guys to come down and at least get an assessment. But what I really want you guys to come down, it's called Big Boy Toys. It's in Las Vegas. It's in November. And one of the reasons I want some of you guys to come down, I know it's Las Vegas, but there's going to be a hall full of companies and people and individuals and entrepreneurs that had a vision, had a dream, and they put it together and they're showcasing it here. And that is the difference between people that make it, and maybe they don't make it, right, in this instance, but they had something they wanted to do and they pulled it off. And I want you guys to go talk to them. I want you to see whatever they did, whatever it is. But I want you to talk to those people and listen to their story of how they got there, because it's not a straight line by any stretch of the imagination, but they've put something together that they're actually showcasing it at an event. That to me is the ultimate. It's one of the reasons I say being in America is the difference maker for you. There are no limitations if you want to do it, but you got to start thinking past everyone else. And we're thinking in 10-year increments. We're not thinking in 4-year increments or, you know, I just want to go to college. What happens after that? Put a plan together. And then when you're on this campus, whenever you go to school, wherever you're going to do next, you're going to start looking for people that can help you fill in some of those holes. You're going to start looking at ideas. You're going to see the world completely differently than everybody else on that campus, because you're constantly paying attention to what's going on. And you're going to say, oh, I hadn't thought about that. Oh, I didn't even know that existed. Oh, let me learn more about this. That's who you're going to be. Everybody else is going to be, hey, where's the next party? And you can go to some parties. But I'm just saying, I want you to be a little bit different than everyone else. And for the rest of you guys, hey, stick with us. Sign up, get in AthleticSOS. I'm going to do some cool stuff inside. We're starting another website called Hawk Mindset. That's going to be coming up. And that is the early bird gets the worm, but the hawk gets the early bird. And I'll explain that a little bit more. But the idea is be one step ahead of the competition in everything you do in life, and your life is going to be amazing. I promise you. All right, guys, as always, best of luck to you in all your endeavors, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.